This video is going to have a look at creating an adjacency matrix from a diagram. An adjacency matrix allows us to represent the number of connections between two objects. Go and have a look at the video introducing adjacency matrices if you need more information on what they are or how we can create an adjacency matrix. So in our example, we are giving some diagrams and we want to use those diagrams to be able to create an adjacency matrix. So looking at the first one, I can see that I've got three different objects, object A, object B, and object C. So my identity matrix is going to consist of 3 columns and 3 rows. So using my outline, I'm going to go ahead and label each of those A, B, and C for object A, B, and C, and the same with down the side, A, B, and C. So now that I've got it set up, what I'm going to do is go ahead and start completing it. Now, I know that I cannot go directly from object A to object A, or object B to object B, or object C to object C. So I'm going to go ahead and put zeros in there. So next I'll have a look at completing the balance of the matrix. And starting with A, object A, I'm going to see where I can go from object A. So I can go from object A to object B, and I can see that there's two different ways of going from A to B, and there is no way of going from A to C. So I'm going to go ahead and complete my matrix. For row A, it is going to be 2 ways for A to B and 0 ways from A to C. Next, I'll look at object B, and I can see that I've got 2 pathways to go from B to A, and I've got 1 pathway to go from B to C. So using this information, to go from B to A, I've got 2 pathways, and B to C, I have got 1. And then looking at object C to complete, I can see I can go from object C to object B through 1 pathway, and no pathways to object A to go directly. So completing my C row, it is going to be 0 from object C to object A, and 1 from object C to object B. So that is my first diagram completed. We'll have a look at the second diagram. So having a look at the second diagram, again, I've got object A, object B, object C. So my matrix is going to consist of 3 rows and 3 columns. Going ahead and labeling them A, B, and C, I can go ahead and start completing the matrix. And again, I can't go from object A to object A, so I'm going to go ahead and complete that diagonal line of zeros. So going and having a look at the diagram and starting at object A, seeing where I can go from object A, and object A, I can go from A to B, and I can also go from object A to object C, and there's 2 different pathways I can take. So I can use that information to complete the matrix. So from A to B, there's 1, and A to C, there's going to be 2. Next, I'll have a look at object B, and starting at object B, there is 1 pathway to go to object A, and there are 2 pathways to go to object C. So I can go ahead and complete that information. B to A is 1, and B to C is going to be 2. And finally, looking at object C, I can see that I've got 2 pathways to object 1, and I've also got 2 pathways to object B. So I can go ahead and complete that. So C to A is 2, and C to B is 2 as well. So that is another example of how I can use a diagram to be able to complete an adjacency matrix.